Almanac. The telephone rings. It's the landlady. 9 times out of 10, it's the landlady.
Hello, it's just me, Ronnie. Ray's gone out again. I'm sure this time he's not coming back.
Well, look, he's always come back before, right?
Yes, but this time he's gone for good. He's not coming back.
I answer the phone, the landlady again.
Bruce, honey, are you going out to the store?
Yes, but much later.
Can you buy me some cigarettes?
Okay.
Cools, any kind. I'll leave the money on the ledge in the foyer.
I'm outside working on the car, hopefully for the last time. The landlady leans out the door and speaks to me in a voice so frail I have no choice but to walk up to her.
Can you buy me some cigarettes?
Yeah, but after I finish with the car.
I'll leave the money on the ledge.
The phone rings again. This time it's the landlord. Must be trouble.
Hey, don't buy Ronnie any more cigarettes. It's the only way I can control her.
Even though I don't, the foyer that connects our apartments is almost always filled with smoke. Ray buys cigarettes for Ronnie and uses them as a reward for non-psychotic behavior, sort of like Dr. Skinner. Voices drift up through the floor early Sunday morning.
Where did the pack go? I didn't do nothing. I smoked the last one. It was the last one. The last one. The last one.
On and on she went, over and over like a mantra. It snows and I shovel the driveway and sidewalk. Phone.
Thank you for shoveling the snow.
It's really no problem. I'm glad to do it.
Okay, honey.
She has her lucid moments. Maybe too bad for her, either in or out or in. Phone.
It's just me, Ronnie. Could you bring the trash can in?
Okay, sure.
Are you filming me?
Filming you? No, why would you ask that?
I don't know. I just thought you were filming me.
No, I'm not.
Okay. You'll bring in the trash can?
Yeah, in a couple of minutes.
And you're not filming me?
No, really.
Okay, honey.
When I came home the next day, I was met with the sound of Ronnie's voice coming through the door.
Are you taking my picture? Are you taking my picture? Are you taking my picture?
I take out my apartment key and put it in a lock. I don't hear her once I'm inside. I'm sitting in the apartment typing this. The phone rings.
Hello, it's just me, Ronnie. Could you bring in the trash can?
Yeah, sure.
Are you writing about me?
Busted. She played the odds and won. No, I'm typing up resumes.
But you'll bring in the trash can?
Yeah.
And you're not writing about me?
No. I happen to walk into the foyer. She's in there too, having just finished a cigarette. She says it relaxes her. I think it only adds to her confusion.
People tell me they see me in Florida, but I've never been there.
I think back about 1.5 years to when she returned from vacationing in Florida and her leg was in a cast after being hit by a car. That auto accident was the beginning of her decline. I remember you going to Florida. You used to go quite often.
No, I've never been down there.
She pauses, avoids my eyes.
I know you have videotape machines. I know you're filming me.
No, really, I don't have any video equipment.
I know you do, honey. I know you do.
I take one more shot at talking her out of it as I put my key in the apartment door. I'm really not filming you.
I know you are, honey. I know you are.
Later on in the month, I can make out her muffled voice coming up through the floor. She's in repeat mode and is saying something I can't quite make out. This goes on for about half an hour, and then I hear Ray's voice. It's become too much for him.
Stop it! Stop it! God damn it! You're driving me crazy! Get away from me!
Her volume drops a bit. Her voice is so strained and breathless that it sounds as if somebody has punched her in the stomach, but she has to keep talking. The same lines over and over again. She's talked this way since the car accident in Florida. Post-traumatic stress syndrome, I suppose. Her voice shakes, it's brittle and weak. She's gone from a plump, idle homebody to a frail, desperate shell living in a world of paranoia. I go out to mail a letter and I see Ray in the driveway. He pulls me aside.
If Ronnie asks you to get her beer or anything, don't do it. She's not feeling well and all she wants to do is drink.
I wonder how much longer she can survive. I start the clock. There are several ways this can end. The most likely is between the drinking, smoking, and mental decay that she'll be carried out after either a stroke, heart attack, or some complete mental collapse. Either of these would make it impossible for Ray to continue taking care of her. He's watched Ronnie transform subtly into an embarrassing secret. Their golden years are over. The landlady's on the phone.
Ray's outside without his hat. He's crazy. He doesn't see how things are changing. Things aren't the same anymore. Food doesn't taste the same. The beer is fake. They're giving me fake beer.
I hope that possibly Ray's been giving her non-alcoholic beer. She asked me to get her beer once, but having experienced the cigarette relationship between her and Ray, I declined. She simply said,
"Okay, honey."
As I approach the house one day, the front door begins to open. The landlady is, of course, behind it. I push through the doorway and she retreats to the back of the foyer, against her apartment door. She had long ago abandoned her blonde wig. This left her hair gray and matted. She was, as always, wearing a nightgown and bathrobe. Light blue.
Oh, I look awful.
That's all right, don't worry.
No, I look terrible.
Because she was in the foyer, there was barely enough room for me to get through. I contort myself around the partially open front door. I wonder what would happen if I were to inadvertently brush up against her. I can think of no good outcome, so I squeeze myself flat against the door instead. My key is in the lock.
When I was a little girl, I took care of my brothers and sisters. Now I'm being punished for it. I don't really drink so much. They did this to me. I don't drink so much.
I'm sure there's something I should be saying to her. I should be able to alleviate her fears or at least discuss the situation with her. I look at her desperate face and all I can think of is platitudes, the things people have said to me when I was going through some kind of intangible distress. Well, don't worry too much about it. I'm sure if you let yourself relax a bit, things won't seem so bad. I'm back in the foyer with Ronnie. We have once again been talking about my habit of filming her.
Sometimes I hear you on the radio and on the TV.
But why do you think that I'm filming you?
Once Ray and I went to have dinner at the club with my girlfriend and her husband. When we got there, she pointed to the TV on the wall and said, "Look, she's dressed just like you." There was a woman on the TV that was wearing black boots and brown pants just like mine, so I know that someone was filming me so that they could know what I was wearing.
Somehow just knowing the first time she concluded that she was being filmed was satisfying. As usual, there's nothing I could say to her, so I went upstairs. I came home early one day. The telephone rings. There's only one person who knows I'm home.
Bruce, it's only me, honey. Listen, is there anything going on between you and Ray?
Does she think I have a thing for her husband? I'm uncomfortable with this line of questioning, and I was planning to go for a run before it got too dark anyway. No, of course not. Well, I have to go now.
Where are you going?
Running.
Jogging? Where?
Around the block.
Tell me more.
Frankly, I can't help thinking I must have told her too much already, but I can't seem to shake her now without being rude. Just around the block.
Okay, I'll go with you.
Uh-oh. No, you don't want to do that.
No, I'll go jogging with you. I'll meet you at the front door in 5 minutes.
No, come on, it's dark outside.
Okay, I'll meet you in 5 minutes.
She hung up the phone. I felt as though I'd been playing a game and it had turned on me. Even though I had always tried to calm her, give her some stability, I had also been entertained by her behavior. Had I actually been encouraging her? During the next 6 months, I had little contact with her. Every once in a while, I would see her in the foyer and she would apologize for the way she looked. Sometimes as I approached the house, I would see her back away from the front door where she had been smoking and disappear into their apartment. Now and again, I would hear Ray's voice drift up through the floor as he shouted at her, "Knock it off, God damn it!" I'm in my apartment fiddling with an old radio. Gradually, I become aware of an idling engine outside the house. I go to the window. There's a rescue squad ambulance sitting out front, and 2 or 3 women stand talking on the stoop. I'm afraid the disaster I've expected for years has finally happened. I grab a bill that I was going to mail and casually run down the stairs to the foyer. The rescue squad men have just gone into Ronnie and Ray's apartment. There's no sense of emergency, just cautious, methodical progress. I expect someone to clue me in, but instead I go unnoticed except for a glance by the women out front. They seem like either Ronnie's youthful friends or a group of social workers. From the mailbox across the street, I watch a procession of rescue squad workers surrounding Ronnie in her nightgown and bathrobe walk slowly from the house toward the ambulance. She's now public property. Our secret can't be hidden anymore. This is the first time I've seen her out in daylight in several years. As I walk back to the house, I overhear the group of women thanking one of the rescue squad workers. He smiles and says, "We all try to help each other." The women move into their cars and the ambulance door closes. I open the screen door and put my hand on the doorknob. As he was leaving, Ray must have pulled the door shut behind him. I was now locked out.